Shuklam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantaye. Om. Dear friends, we are seeing the interesting shloka, an interesting shloka in the chapter 2 of Gita. That is, Ya Nisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Sanyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Pashyato Munehe. That is, what is night for all the worldly people? It is the day for him. And what is the day for them? It is night for them. So what is their night and what is his day? Let us see. Sarvabhutanam Nisha. That is for what is his day? Let us see that first. His day is that he is having that vision of oneness. He is having a Brahma Jnani. Now we are talking about a Jnani. A Jnani, what is his state of mind? He does not see you and me as X, Y, Z. He does not see people like that. He has that vision of, he sees Brahman in everything. Sunichaiva Shvapakecha, Krishna is going to say. That is, his ability is to, his nature is to see Brahman in everything, manifestation of Brahma in everything. He does not see a friend, he does not see an enemy, he sees that divinity everywhere. So that means he sees that one and only one Atma which is there everywhere. This is what we see in all the Upanishads. For example, the very first Upanishad, the first means that is the most primary Upanishad is Ishavasya. People start reading that Ishavasya usually. In that Ishavasya there is a mantra, Yasya Sarvani Bhutani Atmaiva Bhudvijanatah. That is, all the beings are his own Atma. That is the same Atma which is there in all the beings. He does not see anybody as a separate entity. He sees everybody as one and the same. It is something which is unbelievable for you and me. Usually it is unbelievable because we are so much steeped in that notion of duality. We are so much steeped in that notion of a friend, enemy, etc., etc. We cannot visualize. We can't visualize a situation where a Jnani has that sort of vision. But that is the reason why Krishna said only 0.1 or maybe 0.01% of the people will be striving to become these Jnanis, whereas all other people will be in the world only, in the world of duality only. So such a person who sees Brahman everywhere, that sort of situation is something which is a totally dark area for these people, for all the worldly people. What is the dark area? The dark area is the Brahma Jnana. So the Brahma Jnana is his day and Brahma Jnana is the night for them. And what is the day for all the worldly people? For all of us, let us say. For all of us, what is the day? The day for all of us is, okay, you are having, I am having my own social identity. I have got an identity, means I am so and so, my name is so and so, I belong to this caste, I belong to this particular religion, I belong to this particular country, I belong to this particular political party, I am this, that, I am so well educated, etc., etc. This is my social identity. I have got so much of money, I have got a beautiful wife, etc., etc. These are all various achievements. And similarly, I equate, or rather I compare myself with all other people. And sometimes I feel jealous, sometimes I feel happy when I see somebody who is lower than me, and when somebody who is superior to me, I feel rather jealous. So this is the notion of duality. And I need more and more. Whenever I see some new gadgets, whenever I see some new type of cell phone is coming, I am interested in that. So this is what is my pursuit. That is the worldly pursuit of all the worldly objects. We seek happiness from external things. We don't seek happiness from within. We seek happiness from all external gadgets, various things. It may be people, it may be friends, it may be gadgets. So from all these external things, we seek happiness. Whereas Atma Jnani does not seek happiness because he is already in that Purnavastha. Purnavastha means he sees only one reality everywhere. And he doesn't see any difference. His personal needs or wants have become so meager. Apart from maintenance of his body, he has no other needs. So he is in that state. In fact, the meaning of Purnamadah Purnamidam is that, the Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. We read that mantra. What is the meaning of that mantra? Purnamadaha. What we say as that is something which is complete. Purnamidam, what we call as this means this individual or jiva. This is also Purnam. It is not as though this is something which is apart from infinity. Because when we say that Brahman is something which is infinity, you and I cannot be away from that infinity. You and I cannot be outside that infinity, because there is nothing which is outside that infinity. Because if we say that we are outside that infinity, mathematically speaking, we become zero, because there cannot be anything which is outside infinity. So we are that infinity only. Only thing is we have not realized, and whereas the Brahma Jnani realizes it. So it is very, very difficult to understand that people can be there of that nature. But we come across some Mahatmas who really exhibit those qualities, and we can see in them that okay, this man is a realized person. We can see in at least in some people, if not in all the people. So, ya nisha sarvabhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami. Now we know that his day is that Brahmagyana, and Brahmagyana is the dark spot for them. That is the nisha, that is the night. And yasyam jagrati bhutani, all this reality, all this world of illusion, all this world of attractions, so many attractions and all the worldly pleasures and whatnot, that is something which is a dark area for him, because he doesn't see it. He doesn't see Vishayas as binding. He sees everything. He sees everything as a manifestation of that Brahman only. So that is Sa Nisha Pashyato Munehe. Pashyato Munehe. Pashyatah means one who is seeing. Pashyatah is to the man who is seeing. Seeing what? Seeing that reality. Seeing that Atma as is not different from Brahman. Seeing everything as Brahman. So for such a man, Sa Nisha Pashyato Munehe. So his day is something which is Brahmagyanam. It is total darkness for all the people. And their day, that is all the worldly pursuits, that is I, mine, and all the fights which take place. All this thing, it is something which is night for him, because he is somebody who has risen above all these things. He has risen above all these things. Yeah, that Isha Vasyamedagam Sarvam. Again, the Isha Vasya Upanishad, the very opening line says Isha Vasyamedagam Sarvam. Vasyam means Achhadaniyam, that is, one has to envelop the whole universe with the idea of Brahman. The first line says, you have to envelop the whole world, envelop the whole universe with the idea of Brahman. That is, don't look at the world as world, you look at the world as Brahma. So that is what it says. These are the words which are very, very difficult to understand, understand means literally we understand. We understand the literal meaning, but we don't feel it. We should try to feel it. Brahmagyani is a man who fully realizes it, who fully realizes that, yes, when he says, I am Atma Brahma or Aham Brahmasmi, he fully realizes it. Other people, of course, we do not realize it. So, yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. That is, he is awake. He is awake where they are sleeping. That is the reason why we call Buddha. Buddha, what is the meaning of Buddha? Buddha means to wake up. Buddha Jnani, that is Buddha, dhatu in Sanskrit means Buddha to means to wake up. Buddha is somebody who is woken up, who is awake, who is awake. So this Buddhism, when we say Buddhism means something which is relating to a person who is awake. That is Buddha. That is Prabuddha. Prabuddha also we use another word. Buddha means a person who is very well awake. So this waking up means waking up to reality. In fact, when I say waking up, I am reminded of a book called Waking Up. Recently, one American, he was earlier an agnostic. In America and in the Western society, many people are now turning atheists and agnostics. Atheist is somebody who totally denies or rather refutes the presence of any divinity. Agnostic is somebody who says we cannot know anything. That is agnostic. So one such person, a very well-known agnostic named Sam Harris, he has written a book called Sam Harris. He wrote a book called Waking Up. That is, he got in touch with Buddhism and Vedanta. Many Westerners, they are now reading Vedanta, because all intelligent people, they rise above religion. Intelligent people, they all rise above religion, and then they want to see what is reality. So many people are now coming to Buddhism, because Buddhism does not even talk about God. Buddhism only talks about just personal discipline, morality, and basically about what is consciousness, what is jnanam, etc. Vedanta, of course, it says yes, there is something called higher reality, that supreme reality is there. So many educated people, they are turning to Buddhism and also Vedanta. In that book called Waking Up, in fact, you find it on the YouTube also, that you find So many, the entire book is only about his experiments, his how he goes to various Swamijis and all that, and how he talks about his own experience about this oneness. So he writes a book, he has written a book like that. So this Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani, where all the people are awake, that is something which is darkness for him. So this is a very interesting shloka, because for a jnani, these notions of I and mine have totally melted away. So that is the reason why he is able to see that oneness, he is able to see that manifestation of Brahman in everything. So the next shloka, it is almost like, we are now coming to the end of the second chapter of the Gita, 70th shloka, shloka number 70. This is again giving a very interesting comparison with a ocean. A jnani is compared to the ocean. When you observe the ocean, what do we see in an ocean? Ocean continuously receives waters from all the rivers, because most of the rivers, maybe except barring a few, most of the rivers they flow into the sea. And this is happening since the beginning of earth. Since the beginning of earth, all the rivers are flowing into the sea, and continuously the sea is getting filled. But the sea is not perturbed, the sea is not disturbed, the sea is quiet, the sea is calm, it is not crossing its boundary, it is just unaffected. The sea, Samudrasya Vela means that boundary. Samudra never crosses its boundary, it never depletes also. It is in the same position as it is, at any point of time. And we have been seeing from millions and millions of years, the ocean is like that. So a jnani is compared to such a person. In the river, in the ocean, what is happening? All types of rivers are flowing. Some rivers coming with yellow water, rivers with blue water, rivers with some other red water. All those waters, they lose their color. All their waters, they lose their taste. Some river water may have a particular taste. Another river may have another taste. So all the rivers, when the waters they join the sea, they all lose their names, forms, they lose their color, they lose their taste, they lose their identity. So similarly, a jnani is a person into whom various sense impressions they do come. All these sense impressions they impinge on him, they do come, and then they just get dissolved in him. Just like all these waters, they just get absorbed in the ocean. Similarly, all these sense impressions, all these vishayas, they get absorbed in him. They lose their name and form, because he sees in all these things, he sees only Brahman. So a jnani is compared to a ocean in this particular shloka, shloka number 70. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kama yam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti nakamakami. Krishna is talking about a sthita prajna. Sthita prajna means a jnani, a realized person who is like that ocean. Apuryamanam. Apuryamanam means it is continuously getting filled up. Apuryamanam, it is not as though it is filled once and then it is stopped. It is continuously getting filled up day and night, 365 days, all through the year and all through the yugas. So, apuryamanam, achala pratishtham. It is something which is well established and it is not shaking at all. Achala pratishtha. Pratishtha is from the root stha. Stha dhatu means stay. In English we say stay. That is, it is staying still. It is staying, or rather established in stillness. It is staying still for generations and generations, for ages and ages. The sea is like that. Achala pratishtham samudram apaha pravishanti. Apaha means waters. They just enter. They just enter, but the sea is totally unruffled, undisturbed. And all these things, they pravishanti. They pravishanti. Pravishanti, here the commentators have explained. They just enter means, what happens after entering? They just get resolved, they just get dissolved, they just get merged in the ocean. For that, praliyante, they said. Praliyante is the word, is the meaning given for pravishanti. Praliyante is referring to a concept called pralaya. We use the word pralaya. What is the word pralaya? Srushti, sthiti, laya. We use the word, three words. In Puranas, we talk about God creates this Srushti. And again, there is Srushti stays for some time. And then again, God resolves. Srushti, sthiti, laya, we say. That is in the Puranas. But in Vedanta, Vedanta does not talk about Srushti, Sthiti, Laya in that manner. Laya means That is, when a jnani acquires that, when a person acquires that Brahma Jnanam, when a person is in that state of awareness where all other things they lose their meaning, all the things they lose their meaning, and then they lose their names and forms, and then he sees only one Brahman everywhere. For him, the entire prapancha becomes a laya. Prapanchalaya, Sarva Prapanchopashamam. Gita, that Upanishad, the Mandukya Upanishad says, Prapanchopashamam Shantam. Prapanchopashamam is the whole world is totally resolved in him. The whole world is totally dissolved in him. So that is what is called Atyantika Pralaya or total Pralaya for the enlightened person. Atyantika means absolute Pralaya for the enlightened person. So that is what happens to say all the Vishayas which enter him. Just as all the waters which flow into the sea, they lose their name and form. Similarly, all the Vishayas, all the sense objects which enter, which come to him, it is not as though he is seeking the sense objects. A jnani, he is not seeking. Sometimes interaction with society becomes inevitable. And sometimes, okay, somebody invites him and then honors him. He should not feel elated. He does not feel elated. And some other time, suppose he is insulted. He doesn't feel bad about it. When he is praised, he is not happy. When he is insulted, he is not unhappy. He has totally risen above all these things. So all these impressions or all these interactions with the entire external world, all these things they just get dissolved in him, or rather resolved in him. Praliyante. So all these sense objects they dissolve in that idea of Brahma. So for such a man, tadvat kama yam pravishanti. So similarly, all these desires, all these things which enter him, that is again, as I said, it is not as though he is seeking, but some other people, they are causing certain things to him. It is called parecha prarabdham. On his own, he is not seeking anything. Parecha, paresham icha. That is, other people, they want to help him, they want to honor him, they want to say, okay, that's a Mahatma, they invite a Mahatma and then they do honor him. So that is what is called parecha prarabdham. All these kama, all these vishayas which come to him, due to parecha prarabdham, they just enter him without ruffling him, without causing any disturbance in him, without causing any type of change in him, without causing any type of anxiety to him. Such a person, sashanti mapnoti, nakamakami. Such a person is the person who is having that stillness of mind or shanti, but not a person who is kamakami. Kamakami means kamanam kamaita. That is a person who is going after sensual pleasures. A person who is going after sensual pleasures can never have peace, because okay, he gets some happiness from that, from Vishaya. Then again he gets he seeks some more, because when we seek happiness from sense objects, naturally the more the more we have, the more we seek. So that is what happens. So, sa shanti apnoti na kamakami. A person who is seeking all these things, he cannot have happiness. Then the next shloka, it says, then again it is winding up. It is just winding up. Krishna is winding up his teaching to Arjuna. Vihaya kaman yas sarvan puman sharati nispruhaha nirmamo nirahankaraha sa shanti madhigacchati. So he says, Vihaya kaman yah kaman. A person who totally abandons, gives up. Vihaya. Vihaya means having given up. Kaman. Yes, sarvan. Puman sharati nispruhaha. A person who has no longing. Spruha means longing. Spruha means desire or expectation of happiness. In fact, spruha, the literal meaning is expectation of happiness. Okay, this is something which is going to give happiness to me. That is what is called spruha. So, puman charati nispruhaha, a person who has no longing for anything. And nirmamaha, nirahankaraha, sa shanti madhigacchati. He has used two words here, Krishna, that is nirmamaha, a person from whom that word mama has gone away. Nirmamaha, mama means mine. Nirmamaha means a person in whom that word mine has gone away from his dictionary. And nirahankaraha, ahankara is that notion of I, that me, I am so and so. As I was saying, there is what is called a social identity. I belong to this class, I belong to this state, I belong to this religion, etc., etc. That I, that is my ID card. And nirahankaraha is a person in whom that I is totally gone. That I, that social I is gone and mine is also gone. These two words have gone. And a person who sees only Brahman in his own self, in all the beings, all around, he sees only the manifestation of Brahman. Such a person, he is having that Shanti, which is called a Nirvanam. Nirvanam, he is using a word called Nirvanam. That Nirvana state, we will see tomorrow what exactly is that Nirvana. He attains that Nirvana state. So that is what we will see tomorrow. Harihi Om Tat Sat.